Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
This is Wilfredo Hernandez, Director of the LGBTQ New Americans Oral History Project. And I'm here with
Jarrett, Lyons.
How do you do?
And we are here today. It is Sunday, June 16th, 2019, at the Brooklyn Community Pride Center. And we are here with
Mohammed Ali, and you can call me Nooni. My gender pronouns is she, her, hers.
Great, thank you. Nooni, maybe we can start off. Can you tell us where you grew up?
Actually, I was born in Egypt and I grew up in Saudi Arabia. Then after school, I came back again to Egypt.
What was it like growing up in Egypt? And you said you spent time in Saudi Arabia. What was it like growing up in both those places?
Actually, Saudi Arabia is more conservative, more than Egypt, but Egypt is more open. But if you compare it with the outside of the Middle East, Egypt's still conservative.
And what was it like growing up in a conservative place?
For example, in Saudi, you cannot go out with a girlfriend. It's impossible. But in Egypt, you can, with a lot of questions. Who is she and where are you going and why, especially for the girls. That's different, but it's still some kind of conservative countries since it's still part of the Arabic Middle East. The opinion of the society and the family is very, very important. That controls your movements anywhere, especially when you pick up your friends. That's the conservative countries, especially for the females or the girls. And especially if you are gay or queer, that makes a lot of question marks around you, and that makes them focus in you. And still start to talk about the family and religion and society for both countries.
When you say they or them, who is
Who's they? Yeah, starting from the government. That's the big day, and then the mosque or the church, and the family, the schools. And the big issue is the society. The society means maybe neighbors, maybe someone is passing next to you. Everyone is looking, everyone is interfering about any movements you do, about the way you walk, about the way you talk, about where you're going, why you came late, and what you're doing there, and what you're doing here, especially the society. So you must put everyone around you, even if you don't accept them, even if you don't know them, just put them in your mind. Because you don't know how they think and how they react, how is their reaction. All of them.
So growing up in that kind of environment, what kind of how did that make you feel? How that you had to operate in that environment, navigate that kind of social environment. How did that make you feel?
That makes me feel as if I'm not free, which is real. You're not free. You must think about someone you don't know. Maybe you meet him in the street. He may stop you and ask you why you wear this, why you talk about this, who is she, who is him, and you don't know even him, where he comes from, why he show up, why he stop you. It's not just about someone like police officer. Maybe they stop you and ask you about your ID and about your friends, about where you're going that much late. No, it's even about someone is passing next to you, man or women, or even some other people in your age. They will keep looking, watching, and making some voices around you, like making jokes about you, especially if you have a girlfriend. So that puts you more in trouble with the people because of her.
And growing up, is there a time you can remember that happened to you, or something along those lines happened to you, where people were suspicious of you for some reason, or made you feel that you were being watched or judged?
Yes, after high school, I moved back with the family to Egypt, and then we started the problems from that time. And it started from especially the people in the university or the college. Especially if you have liberal ideas in your mind about politics and about religion, about society, everyone is start to focus in you and watching and follow you. Not just the teachers there, no, I mean the colleagues. They're starting to pay attention to you because there's something not regular. It, someone may report you to the management in the university about your opinions, about your political opinions, society opinions, and about your sexual opinions. If you are more liberal, that puts you in trouble all the time. And when you start, it never stops. And then, if it's some people start to make another stories, which is not real, but the people want to believe it because it's very exciting, especially about your sexual ideas and your sexual life. And for example, when you start talking with your friends about your opinions, about their opinions, they get shocked when they feel that you are very liberal about about the life in general. Some one of them you don't feel it. Some one of them he volunteered to report you. Oh, here is this guy or this girl. She is very liberal. Maybe she is not religious. Maybe she doesn't believe in God. That's the start of the problems. And then they call you in the management and make investigations. How do you pray? Are you married? Are you going to marry? Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? What do you think about politics? What do you think about the president? What do you think about the dean of the college? Why you don't study? Do you like this? Don't you like this? Why you wear this? And as I told you, when you start, it never stops. You are in the circle.
And did any of that happen to you specifically, to you as an individual? Or are you speaking about these things happen to people you knew?
Yes, it happens to me at the end of the year of the college. The people start to avoiding me, not to say hello, not to cooperate with me, not to go out, not to answer me. Even if I want to ask the doctor or the teacher about something, he say, okay, later, as if they don't want the people to see them with me, because the rumor is growing up. So I felt as if I'm alone in the last year of the college. And someone came to me and he advised me. He said, I will talk to you friendly. If you keep on going like this in your life, you will face a lot of trouble, especially when you go to the army. And if you want that, so you must be ready from now, because the army is different life. And that happens in the army too.
Is that an option to go into the army, or is that a requirement?
No, there's no option there. Especially if you have a brother, you don't have option. You have to. You have to. Even if there is a war or no war, you have to do it. No.
Can we go back a minute? The rumors that you referenced, or that your friend referenced, what rumors were started related to you? What were those rumors?
Yes. The rumors, when it started in the university, they were talking about my liberal ideas, especially about politics, religion, and the sex. These three main topics you cannot talk about it in the Middle East or in Saudi or in Egypt or any other countries there. When you talk about politics, the people feel that you will put them in trouble, so they start to go away from you, especially the last president. The life was not that easy when you start talking about politics or about him. Second, about religion, if you start saying that let's say the veil or the hijab it's not part of the religion, the people start to say that you are not believer. This is part, the real part of it. I'm asking them, are we going to at the end of the life to the fire because of this piece of clothing? They say, oh, you will go to the hell anyway. And for the sexual ideas, I was very liberal, and they started to accusing me, let's say accusing, and because they say, oh, you're not real man, you might be gay, you don't like the girls, you will be in the hell because you are not normal, you're abnormal, you're left wing. That's what we say about gays in Egypt, left wing. And left wing is bad because it comes from the devil, especially if you are left hand, that you will go to the fire because you are left hand. So if you are gay, that means on the left side, which goes you to bad end in your life and even in the last day of the life, especially in front of the God. And the people there, they start to judge you as if they are gods. And they say, you will be in trouble. Something will happen to you. You're bad. You are bad. And so about politics and about sex and about religion, I think I was not smart enough to start talking about that freely in front of them.
Did you come to terms with or accept your sexuality or your gender identity during that point in your life, or were you aware of that part of yourself during that time?
What do you mean?
Your sexual orientation or your gender identity, were you aware during those years where you were in college or university, were you aware of those feelings around yourself, or were you open about that in any way that would cause others to talk about it or talk about you?
No, actually, I started feeling about my gender, my real gender. How do you say that? Sorry.
Your gender
identity. Yes, I started to feel about my gender identity since the high school, because I was in Saudi, and Saudi, in Saudi, you cannot find a school for both of the two gender, boys and girls. No, there is a school for boys and there is a school for girls. So in Saudi, the schools, since the schools only for men or boys, most of the students there, they are gays. So you're starting to feel about it, and that was the environment around you. I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't imagine that I will be queer or gay or something like that. But this is the life there. And during more than 10 years, I can't remember that I talked to any girls there because it's forbidden. You can't. So, but in being gay in Saudi is something you can say it's not forbidden, but it's like a tradition there, but it's not on public. Like many things in the Middle East, you can do it, but not on public. Since it's in your room, it's fine, but you cannot say it. The problem with me is that I started to say it, and I started to show up. I thought it's fine, but it wasn't fine. It's in Saudi or in Egypt, it wasn't fine at all. And after that, we went back with the family to Egypt, so I found, and I thought it's more free there. That was the second mistake. And I started to talk freely, but I put myself in trouble. Yeah. And after that, I just want to make up my mind.
Take your time.
Yeah, about my gender orientation or about my gender ID. Okay, and after I finished the university, it was around 4 years. Actually, I wasn't a good student, so I passed it in 5 years. Then I had to go to the army, and the army, it's bad if you have different ideas or different religion or different identification there in the army. Especially the army there, it's a masculine area and masculine big foundation. There is no women there. And so it's, if you are a gay there, you will be fired from or dismissed from the army with the card say it's unhonored, let's say unhonored dismissing from the army. That can cause you a lot of troubles about finding a job, about traveling after that. But you will be dismissed. Some people used it to be dismissed from the army, but you have to choose one of the two ways, or you have to keep silent in the army. Otherwise, you will be in trouble if you are lucky, or you will be disappeared if you are not lucky, like everyone. So I had to stay there for 1 year as a soldier. So it wasn't a good year because I didn't like it. No.
During that 1 year, actually, I just want to go back to in university. What did you study?
First, I studied in history, general history about the Middle East and Europe.
In discovering a sense of yourself when you were younger, and recognizing that, and your pronouns are she and hers, were you aware of that as a younger person?
What do you mean?
Using she and her to identify yourself?
No, no. Because I found out about these new idioms in the United States. I never heard about it before, but when I found it here, when I came here and I found these new expressions, that made me feel more comfort to use it and asking the people to use it when they call me. Because when someone calling me as a boy or man, that doesn't feel me comfort. No. That makes me feel confused again. And about finding out about myself, it took around 20 years. Since you were in Saudi, starting in Saudi, then Egypt, then work, army, and all that period, you're still looking for yourself. When I came here, I became more sure about my identity.
So overall that time, or going back to your service, that 1 year, right, a 1 year of service in the army, did you know other gay or queer people in service with you?
Yes, I knew 2 of them, and we couldn't even meet frequently in the army, and they asked me we can meet when we get something like a vacation. It's every 1 month for a couple of days, so we used to meet there. If you meet your friends there and someone notices that will put you in trouble with the army undercovers or the army spies. It might be one of your friends, and that causes you a lot of troubles, and you don't know where it comes from. So I knew them. We kept being friends after I finished the army for another 10 years.
How were you able to find those friends or those other queer people in the army while you were in that environment that was so strict? How were you able to meet one another?
How to know them?
Yes, get to know.
Okay. My army was in the 90s, the early 90s, around 1993, I think. Actually, I passed the army for 4 months. I didn't go to the army because I heard a lot of bad stories there, and some people died, and you cannot sue the government because some soldiers died. They will say, oh, it's a military exercise, but who knows, maybe execution. You cannot sue them, no. Or they might say it's a mistake. Could be. So I try to avoid it. And some people did it, some people pay some money, but my father and mother, they didn't have that money. They just trying to help me to make the army more comfort, or a little bit comfort by some friends, officers' friends, which happened and helped me a lot. By meeting some gay friends or let's say gay soldier in the army. Of course, at that time we had no social networks like apps or something like that, or even cell phones. But we used to know each other by coincidence, maybe by feelings. You know, it's like chemistry, and you can feel about it. So I met two of them, which helped me to pass that period in my life in the army. And the army, everyone there is just thinking about one thing. It's when he will be dismissed from the army. When is that day, and how about the vacation, how to go out, to check out, everything is out. That's what's the first priority in our mind, nothing else. Even the food, we don't think about the food, we don't think about anything, just to be out. After you finish the army, all the males in Egypt, they start to find a job. Because if you don't have certification from the army that you passed this year, you wouldn't be able to work or to travel. Then, if you don't have work, you cannot make a family, you cannot marry, because you will not have money. Okay, this is the most, so we have to go to the army because we want to travel. For me, I wanted to travel, I wanted to be out of Egypt. And most of the people, they wanted to show it to the to any work in their resume. Otherwise, they will not be able to work. No.
So you had that proof.
Yes.
So what was the first thing you did after leaving the army?
Looking for work to build my future, my career. And I started to work some little works as a translator, as a language teacher, but it wasn't really work. And then I found some work, some advertising in the newspaper about working as a cabin crew, which was a good opportunity there. And I didn't imagine that I will be accepted because there are a lot of people going there, a lot. And I think they were better than me. But that's what happened. I became a cabin crew after looking for a job for 3 months, or after dismissing from the army 3 or 4 months. So I was lucky to find this job.
In cabin crew with an airline?
Yes.
With an airline. So that offered you the opportunity to travel?
Yes, yes. Travel, and that was a very big change in my life. Yes, and in my sexual life too. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And travel internationally? Or
yes,
yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
Where was the first trip you took?
India. That my first trip was to India, which was very good. I liked it so much.
What did you like about it?
India, the food, spicy food, and the people there. The atmosphere is very hot. I didn't like it, of course. And I like the Oriental atmosphere in general. And the second one was very, very good. I like to travel to South Africa too, because that was the beginning of the regime of Nelson Mandela.
So Nooni, you mentioned that you recall your first trips or memorable trips were to India and to South Africa, and Nelson Mandela was president.
Yeah.
And you said over the course of your travels that you have sexual memories as well. And would you say that over the course of your travels you were able to step more into yourself as a queer person?
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. When I started flying abroad, I was thinking that I will have more opportunities to be more free, since I'm far from the homeland. So especially if you go to Europe or America or South Africa or some other countries, especially if it's not Arab countries, or with all respect, if it's not Muslim countries, far from the traditions. So it's more freedom, even if it's temporary freedom, the period of the trip. Some trips takes 10 days, some trips takes one night. So you become yourself, far from the crew hotels, because you are worried if someone see you, maybe take a picture of you, maybe can meet you by coincidence in some clubs, like gay clubs somewhere, so that may cause you a scandalship or problem, or let's say a bad reputation, that you are going to somewhere and someone see you in some, let's say, bad nightclubs. That makes you another reputation in work, family, and when you go home. So it never stop again. So you start another problem. So I started to hide where I'm going, what I'm wearing. Sometimes when I go out from the hotel, I take some different clothes there, and I tell them I'm going to the market, but I'm not going to the market. I'm going to practice my real life, my real identity. When I come back, everything changed. I'm another person. So I live in two persons, even when I was a cabin crew. I have to.
In your travels, where did you feel the most free? The most able to be yourself?
Free countries. That actually Thailand. Of course, Thailand.
Thailand?
Yes, I spent a long time in Thailand. It was my favorite place because it's really free. Then the United States.
When was your first trip to the United States?
Oh, that was around, I think, 2000.
2000?
I think, yeah, yeah.
Where did you... Can you say that back in a sentence? Can you say my first trip to the United States?
My first trip to the United States was, as much as I remember, 2000 or 2001. I'm not sure.
And where in the United States did you visit?
The New York and LA. That was the only two destinations where we fly to. Nothing else. So it was my favorite flights. You know, especially we used to stay there around 10 or 14 days, because you have to stay in New York, then you travel to LA and come back to New York. So it was good to be free for 14 days. Okay, about flying to New York for the first time, the main idea was in my mind, it's about the freedom and about the culture, because the main culture actually in the Middle East, after the local culture, is the American culture, because of the movies and because of products and because anything you use it there, the cars, the clothes, everything, it's American, even if you don't get it from America, but it's still American. So what you were thinking about, that's, oh, I will see what I have here from America, I will see it there in its country, in the source. So you will see the freedom. That's the main purpose, to breathe, to find yourself there, and you practice yourself, which really started there. And unfortunately, that caused me trouble later, after years, with my company, and it didn't stop. The trouble there, I had friends from all over the world. As a cabin crew, I had another different cabin crew from another countries or another companies. One of them, he was from El Al. El Al is the Israeli airline companies, and some people saw me with him in the hotel, because the crew of El Al used to stay in the same hotel. Most of the countries, like they used to stay with us in South Africa, and I think some countries in Europe, like Holland, as much as I remember. And the people, as I remember, my colleagues, they started to ask the company many times on the Facebook page of the company to change the hotels there, to avoid meeting the Israeli crew members there. They did that in South Africa, but they didn't do this in New York. So, as I told you, I met one of them. We became friends, and some of the crew members they met me, asked me who's he. I told them freely, he's from El Al, he's Jewish. I said, okay, he's Jewish, he's from El Al. Okay. I didn't pay attention to that, but when I came to Egypt, I was called by the government, by the management of Egypt, my companies. I cannot say the name of the company. They asked me about him, what I'm doing there, what did we talk about, did he tell him about your country, about blah, 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 blah. What's the benefit about having friends like this? Do you know what's the meaning of having friends from Israel? I said, it's the same like the other countries. He said, no, you know about Israel. They are enemies. I said, no, they are not enemies. They're just people, another people. They could be enemies, they could be friends, like any other countries. They said, okay, we'll see. And after a few days, I was suspended. I was stopped flying to New York for a long time. Since, I think, 2002, I think, until 2010, not flying to New York. And when I asked them why, they said to avoid putting yourself in troubles. Especially we heard them rumor that your relationship with that cabin crew members from Israel is not just friendship. Then I couldn't dare to ask them, what do you mean by it's not just friendship? Because I felt that I'm guilty because I'm gay. That's the message always sent to you to put it in the deepness. After that, the people changed the way they treat me in the companies. I lost a lot of people because the people are afraid, because that makes a bad reputation that you are gay and have a Jewish friend, which is terrible there. Okay.
So you were questioned by your employers and you were prohibited, you were not allowed to fly to New York for, is it 8 years? Right?
Because of Jewish.
Because of a Jewish
Yes.
friend. At what point in your life was that where you had been to the United States and you had this sense of what you say is freedom and
Yeah.
you found joy in that. At what point did you start to think that you would like to be in the United States permanently?
What do you mean permanently?
That you would come here to live your life, the rest of your life?
Yes. Actually, the main purpose and to come into United States or any other countries is asking for protection. Protect your life first, and everything is your life. If you lose it, you lost anything. Securing your freedom. Since you have freedom, you have everything. But when you are threatened in your countries, you cannot stay. You expect everything bad could happen to you, and your life and your future, your everything in the other hands of some people. You don't know them. You don't know them, and you expect they will hurt you a lot. They starting from the company, and you never know when and where they will stop. They don't stop. Some people from my company, they have been dismissed because they are reported as gays, and they never came back to their job again. They just lost it. But they never tell you the real reason that we dismissed you because you are gay. No, they will find another reason, another legal reason. They found it. And that's what happened to me after maybe 10 years. They just dismissed me, and for some reason, it didn't show up for a flight since 9 years. But someone told me, no, it wasn't this. It wasn't your accident about knowing a gay Jewish cabin crew from El Al around the year 2000, but they never forget it. They put it in their mind that it's not written, and they cannot write it down because it's against the treaty between Egypt and Israel, and against the freedom of the people. So Egypt, when the people there, when they do something, they do it, let's say, covered with the law, but it's against the law. So when I came to America, I was coming here asking for freedom and protection, freedom in general, and freedom of my sexual identity. I just want to express myself. I want to live as I am. I don't want to have double personality, like to show up in front of the people with some different style. I don't feel comfortable. I practiced that for a long time, but I get tired of this. I don't want to be hide. Yeah.
Was there a specific moment when you were still back in Egypt that made you feel unsafe
Yes.
or unprotected? That
Yes.
you felt for your safety, that you needed
Yeah.
to come and ask for protection?
Yeah, it's 1 year before I came here. I felt I used to live in some middle class area, and that middle class area, that means that you are a little bit conservative. I was single. I had no family, like a wife or sons. So I lived after my mother passed in the same home for years. So I used to do everything with myself. So I used to, after a while, I started to feel that I want company, someone. So I started to look in the internet about someone, and I found some non-Egyptian gays studying in Egypt. So when they start to come, I knew 2 of them, and the people start to notice that some people are coming. If they are girls, that will be more problems. But since they are not female, you can say it's okay. But after a while, the porter start to ask me, there's some people asking, who's those people coming up to you? I said, just friends. He said, okay, just take care. I don't know what to take care of. After a while, the people, my neighbors, starting to throw something next to my door, knocking the door and run away, just ringing the bell. He said, who's there? Is that your friend? What are you doing? Do you smoke? Do you smoke weed? I said, no, I don't smoke. Are they Muslims? I said, yeah. What's wrong? He said, it's okay. After a while, there is some robbery happened in the same building, and the police came checking all the apartments, and they knocked the door and they said, we want to talk to you unofficially. I said, okay. And when they came to my home inside and they started to talk, we heard that you received some guys here. For what? I said, does that has something to do with the robbery, with the stealing the other apartment? They said, no, we just talking friendly. Feel free. I said, I don't want to talk about this. It's my life. He said, okay. So you don't want to cooperate? I said, cooperate about what? About my life? He said, no, just cooperate about everything. We don't want to make it officially. And you know what's the meaning of making officially. So we can call you to the police station and start to write reports and blah, blah, blah. You know about it, huh? I said, okay, I know. So what do you want to know? I said, what are you doing here? I said, no, just watching TV, learning Arabic. That's it. I said, do you smoke something like blah, blah, blah? I said, no, we don't smoke weed and we don't drink. I said, okay, so just take care of yourself, huh? And they went, and I asked them, are you coming back? He said, no, I don't think I will come back again. And he disappeared. After that, the neighbors, they start again avoiding me, start They stopped talking to me immediately. Even the shops, they start not to give me what I want. When I go to them asking, can I buy some Coca-Cola? Somebody said, no, we don't have. Because their bad reputation. Everyone talk to everyone. Oh, there is someone, he's suspicious, he's gay. Take care of him. So I was alone again. Then I stopped being there and I rent another apartment in a high-class area that's out of Cairo, let's say New Cairo. So I thought the people there will be much more open-minded, and that's another story. When I went there, I needed some roommate, so I made some ad on Craigslist. So someone came from Colombia, and he was good. And we became roommates. We started the life, and I found out by coincidence that he's gay too. So I was lucky. But again, the people start to ask, who's that? What he's doing then? Did you report him to the something like IRS or something like that? Is he Muslim? Is he gay? I said, you have nothing to do with that. And they said, oh, we have a family. We are very conservative. We don't need the trouble. I said, you are in your home. Don't come back here. But they didn't stop again. And then I received some phone calls from someone. He said, I'm the general, blah, 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 blah. And are you in the New Cairo apartment number 2? And there is a roommate called blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah. Okay, how long he's gonna stay? And he's starting to give me instructions, how to deal with the people, what you're doing, how long he must stay, and when he should go away. And at the final, he said, let me advise you something. Get married. I said, okay, I will try to think about it, but I never think about it, and I will not. And then I expected more troubles, and at that time, I left the company. And I felt that I have to leave the company and the life there in Egypt. And because of expecting the problems between me and the people, the problems comes mainly from volunteers. Some neighbors, some friends, he want to protect the society or protect the buildings or the families. So he might report you to someone in the government. And he doesn't have to approve what he said. No, you, the one who approve what he said about you. So you must clear yourself. He doesn't need evidence for his accusation to you, but you need evidence for your clearness, let's say clearness area or whatever. So you are the one for everything. And as I told you before, when you start with them, they never stop it. I came to here as a legal visa. I stayed with my family here, half of my family here. And I was still thinking about it. Then I took my decision, and I just told them, I'm gonna stay. I don't want to go back there to Egypt because no one there. So of course I didn't give them the real reason. You can't tell. You can tell your close friends, but you cannot tell your family. No, especially in the Middle East. No, you can't. Otherwise you will lose them. They will not respect you anymore. Especially the women in your family. You can feel it. They will think, oh, he's not a real man. You cannot account on him if he is gay. No. So I'm here. I asked for that asylum, and I'm trying to survive. People help me very much here in the United States. They are very, very, very helpful, and they understandable people, and they appreciate. And since I came here, I can't remember someone asked me about my religion. No one interfered. Who's that? Why you look like this? I can't. No one. So I feel much free. My space is getting bigger around me, which makes me feel more comfort, especially to express your identity and express yourself, since you don't hurt the others.
Asylum already.
Yes, yes, but yeah, I'm telling you what happened, but I'm thinking that do we have to talk about that in the video?
We don't have to, but
That's
what we do want to make sure that we capture
Yeah.
is your experience of coming here, why you came here,
Yes,
and what your life has been like since you've been here.
yeah.
And that's really what we're getting at now in this portion of the interview.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
So, I actually don't recall where we left off. Does anybody else?
Asylum, you were talking
So
about, yes.
you were just getting to him coming, but he,
Coming, right, okay.
I mean, you could just say, you know, just talk about coming to New York, I mean, that's the end,
And
really.
that's the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to, so we left off at what point, at what year you came here,
Yes,
right? And you said last year?
17, April 17. That's
2017?
yeah.
2007, April 2007.
Yes,
Okay.
as much as I remember,
Okay.
yeah.
So we should just say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
17, 18, 18 to 9, yeah.
okay. So, Nooni, what year did you come to New York City and decide to stay here?
I came here 2017, April 2017, and I decided to stay here, I think, around June 2017, because I couldn't go back to Egypt.
And what has your life been like here in New York since you decided to stay?
Excuse me?
What has your life been like in New York City since you decided to stay here?
It was better. it's better if you compare it with the other countries, because I was thinking to go to Tel Aviv, because I know it's the paradise of the gays, so I can be myself there. But it's not easy to fly from Egypt to Tel Aviv. It's dangerous. No. And I used to live in Turkey, which is a little bit more freedom there for the gays. But my family is here, so I prefer to come here. And I was still thinking about going back to Egypt or not. I said if it's getting better in Egypt, I would go back, but it didn't goes better in Egypt since the new regime of Egypt, and everyone doesn't feel comfort there. The religious people don't feel comfort. The queer people don't feel comfort. Anyone don't feel comfort there. So you cannot find yourself there. Some people said it was better the last 10 years, which I think was a little freedom space since 10 years. It was better than now. Nowadays, the government chasing the gays, since it's used to do that. Okay, since the last president, Hosni Mubarak, they used to do that. When the Muslim Brotherhood came for 1 year, we said it's our end, because they don't like gays, of course, because they are very conservative, religious conservative. And when the army took the power from the Islamic people, we felt very happy, because there's no religious Islamic government like Iran. So when they took the power, I mean the army, we felt a little bit freedom, but everything became worse than before. The government used to hunt the gays from the applications, from the websites, from the streets. And even if you are not gay, they can accuse you to be gay, to destroy your reputation, because being gay is a bad reputation in Egypt. So if you are on the website, like I think that one is Grindr or something, or Manjam, and you find someone and he sent you his picture, he's nice. And when you meet him there in the square or a coffee shop or some place, 50% he is not gay. Maybe he is Islamic one, like Muslim Brotherhood, and he start to advise you. Or if you are not lucky, he is a police undercover. So when you start to say, yes, are you blah, 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 are you Mr., are you, when you say yes, so they come, they show up, and they take you. When they take you, the problem is not putting you in a jail. The problem is the scandalship in front of the family. The family doesn't know that you are gay. The family doesn't know that you are not a real man. So you cannot complain. You cannot hire a lawyer to save you from this trouble. Then you disappear and you cannot tell anyone. So when you meet someone there through the applications, put in your mind, it's 50% not real one. If you are lucky, you just go there and no one come. If you are lucky, but if someone come, the wrong person, you are not lucky. That's what happened in the boat Queen. Since 10 years, I think, it was a very big problem that the police attacked the Queen boat to capture the male gays there, and he collected them. Then they put them in jail for 2 years, and then they had agreement with them. After that, they asked them to be free from jail, but don't stay in Egypt and don't talk about it. So most of them, they went from the jail to asylum in Europe and America, and no one hear about them anymore. They just disappeared. So the government there, if they don't have something against you.
What do you want people to know about LGBTQ immigrants?
That we are the LGBT and outside of America and inside America, that we are still LGBT, we are equals. We are just LGBT. We are queers. we are the same, but we have a different culture. That's it. And we can be together and just accept us, accept our culture, because it's a little bit different. We are coming from conservative environment. So we're still trying to understand here what's the real LGBT, even the idioms LGBT. It's very new for us, for the Middle Eastern case, especially male or female, boys or girls. Many of them, they don't know these idioms. We don't know the word, the gender identity, because we only have 2 or 3 things in the Middle East to be gay, and gay, it means male gay. Some people say that, are you gay or lesbian? But both of them are gay, but the people don't know. So just the people here think about us as first that we are human beings, and we asking for being ourselves as same as you got here. You don't have that problems. So we want to be like you. Don't just practice our identity here in the United States, because we cannot do that in our countries. And we asking the LGBT here, the American LGBT, to understand us and support the LGBT coming from abroad to be here, asking for freedom and protection and understanding.